The whispers had begun again. In the small town of Nagashima, children spoke in hushed tones about the woman with the slit mouth. They claimed to see her standing at the edge of the playground, her face hidden behind a white mask. She would wait until one child lingered too long, then asks her dreaded question, "Am I pretty?" The adults dismissed it as childish imagination, a revival of an urban legend, meant to scare one another, but the children knew better. They always knew better. Long ago, in a quiet village, nested between rolling hills and dense forest, there lived a woman named Akio. She was known for her beauty, a face so perfect it seemed divine. Her skin was like porcelain, her lips red as cherry blossoms, and her smile could make men forget the world. Akio's husband, a powerful samurai, was proud of her beauty, but guarded it jealously. Yet beauty can be both a blessing and a curse. Akio's charm caught the attention of every man she met. Whispers on infidelity began to circulate, not because Akio had strayed, but because the village could not imagine her staying loyal to just one man. These rumors were found their way to her husband, whose jealousy began to fester. One fateful evening, the samurai returned home, his eyes wild with rage. Akio greeted him, her radiant smile illuminating the dimly lit room, but her husband's gaze was cold. "Do you think I'm a fool, Akio?" he hissed. She stepped back confused. "What do you mean, my lord?" "The whispers, the stares, they say you entertain other men, that you have dishonored me." Akio's voice trembled. That, that's not true. I swear to you. But her words were cut short as the samurai unsheathed his blade. "If your beauty has brought shame upon me, then I will destroy it." In a single motion, he slashed her face, carving a horrific smile. From ear to ear, Akio screamed, clutching her bloodied face as her husband's laughter echoed through the house. She fled into the night, her beauty stolen, her spirits broken. Akio wandered the dark woods for days, her sobs mingling with the wind. Villagers whispered that her cries could still be heard on stormy nights, echoing through the hills. When her body was found, her face mutilated and her soul consumed by despair, the legend of Kuchisake-Onna was born. Eri had never believed in ghost stories. She had heard them growing up about spirits that haunted the forest, demons that lived in wells, and the infamous Kuchisake-Onna, the slit-mouthed woman. But now at 16, Eri had no time for childish fantasies. She had bigger problems. Her father's new job had uprooted their family from Tokyo to this quiet, uneventful town. The move felt like punishment. The streets were eerily quiet, and the new school was far cry from the bustling halls of her old one. The other students were polite but distant, as if wary of her. The only person who seemed genuinely friendly was Kana, a bubbling girl with a penchant for horror stories. One afternoon, Kana leaned over during lunch, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Have you heard about her yet?" she asked. Eri frowned. "Who?" "Kuchisake-Onna. She's been spotted here, you know. Some say she's waiting for someone." Eri rolled her eyes. "Let me guess. She asks if she's pretty and then kills you. That's just the story." Kana shrugged, her smile fading slightly. "Maybe, but my cousin swears he saw her last month. Said she was standing under the streetlight near the old park. He ran home so fast he couldn't sleep for a week." Eri laughed, brushing it off. But that night, as she walked home from cram school, Kana's words crept back in her mind. The streets were emptier than usual. The only sounds that faint hum of distant traffic and the occasional rustle leaves in the wind. Airy clutched her bag tighter, her footsteps quickening as unease prickled at her skin. As she passed the old park Kana had mentioned, she froze. There, beneath the dim glow of a flickering street lamp, stood a figure. The woman was still almost a twig, her face obscured by a white surgical mask. She wore a long beige coat that swayed gently in the breeze. Something about her presence was wrong. Airy hesitated, then shook her head. It's just a person, she told herself. Don't be ridiculous. But she stepped forward. The woman's head turned sharply towards her. Airy's breath caught. She could see the woman's eyes clearly, but she felt their weight, heavy and unrelenting. The woman's voice drifted through the air, soft and sweet. Am I pretty? Airy's heart pounded, but she forced a nervous smile. Yeah, sure. The woman tilted her head. Her hand rising to her mask, slowly she pulled it down, revealing a horrifying sight. Her mouth was slit from ear to ear, the wounds jagged and raw, as if freshly cut. How about now? Airy stumbled back. A scream caught in her throat. She ran and ran, the woman's soft laughter echoing behind her. The next day, Eerie told Kana what happened. Her friend's face turned pale. I told you, Kana whispered. It's her, but there's a way to survive her. Kana explained the rules of the legend. If you say no, she'll kill you on the spot. If you say yes, she'll carve your face to match hers. To escape, you must confuse her by saying something ambiguous, like you're average, or distract her with candies, preferably hard candies. Airy wanted to dismiss it all as nonsense, but the memory of the woman's face was buried in her mind. That night she stuffed her pocket with candies, avoided walking near the park, but no matter which route she took, the streets felt darker, the silence felt heavier. A week later, Airy stayed late at school finishing an art project. By the time she left, the campus was dreaded, and the only light came from a crescent moon. She took the long way home, avoiding the park entirely. But as she rounded the corner, she saw her again. The woman was standing at the edge of the street under the same flickering street lamp, her mask in place. Airy's blood ran cold. She turned to run, but the woman appeared in front of her, as if the shadows had carried her. Am I pretty? Airy's hand trembled as she reached into her pocket. She fumbled with the candies, her mind racing. You're average, she blurted. The woman tilted her head, her grin widening impossibly. Am I? Before Airy could react, the woman lunged. Airy screamed, throwing the candies at her. The woman paused, her eyes flickering with curiosity. The distraction was enough. Airy bolted, her legs burning as she sprinted towards the nearest convenience store. Aries burst into the store, gasping for breath. The clerk stared at her, alarmed. What happened? He asked. Airy tried to explain, but the man's expression darkened. You saw her, didn't you? The slit-mouthed woman. He gestured to an old newspaper clipping on the counter. The article detailed sightings of a woman matching Kuchisake-Onna's description. It mentioned a gruesome murder years ago, a jealous husband who had mutilated his wife in a fit of rage. She's real, the clerk said, and she won't stop until she finds someone to share her pain. Airy never walked alone at night again, but sometimes late at night she swore she could hear faint footsteps behind her. And once, when she glanced out her bedroom window, she thought she saw a figure standing under the streetlight, her mask glowing white in the darkness. The legend of Kuchisake-Onna never truly ends. She's still out there, waiting. So if you ever find yourself alone at the night, and a pretty woman asks you, Am I pretty? Choose your words wisely. Come back again at this nocturnal hour to witness another horrifying story.